Hey everybody, Marty and Daemon here.
Oh, hi Marty. I didn't see you there. I was just reading the September 1999 issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly, as I do every afternoon.
One thing that issue did not predict, it had a lot of predictions. One thing was not the massive Telltale news. That came out today.
Massive!
2 pieces. One was the Super Show, which is going to be Telltale's first new IP of the last 5-6 years. But we're not going to talk about that. We don't know what the Super Show is. Because we're going to talk about their partnership with Lionsgate, which is huge.
Lionsgate is a television and film production company.
Yeah, absolutely.
They own some big licenses.
They own some big licenses. So what we want to do is and we know Telltale is going to bring some of those movies and TV properties into the video game world. So
did they announce that? Because I thought they announced that they were going to co-develop an original project.
So I think that's what the Super Show is. But then they also, in the fine print, are like, yeah, we're going to transition some of these.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about what stuff makes sense. Yeah. So kick it off the bat. What Lionsgate property do you think could make a Telltale game?
Lionsgate's biggest property is this small little movie series called The Hunger Games.
The indie darling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the final Hunger Games movie is coming out this year?
Or maybe later on. Yeah, later
the final
on this
one?
year. Yeah, it's the part 2 of the last one.
That is a huge moneymaker for Lionsgate, and I think with the film series winding down, they're going to be thinking, how can we keep this money train rolling?
Dude, I mean, absolutely. And
let's develop a video game series, and it makes a lot of sense.
The weird thing about Hunger Games is it had like an endless runner, I think, for iOS, but it hasn't had like a true game
of forever.
Yeah, it hasn't had a game of forever. And so yeah, I can totally see that. And obviously, Telltale's proven that they can expand on universes that already exist with Game of Thrones and with Borderlands and with Walking Dead. I feel like that's a really good fit. I know a lot of people are going to die a little bit on the inside, but one of the other big ones is Twilight. Twilight's
Who
huge.
wants to play that game?
I don't know.
You?
If I could choose who to smooch.
Choose who to smooch.
Yeah,
choose your own smoocher.
Smooch your own adventure.
That's better.
I want to a point and smooch adventure game. So I mean, again, this is a world that's it's super popular with sort of target demographic. You know, Telltale's also doing this Minecraft.
Soup or popular?
We have a new series at IGN called Super Popular. Telltale is doing this Minecraft game. They're sort of branching this new demographic, and I think that demographic could.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know if the Minecraft crowd is the Twilight crowd. Also, is there a Twilight crowd anymore? Like, 'cause those books are done and those movies are done.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little less. I think we're going to see that one. What about TV? What big TV has Telltale done?
They produced a television series called Mad Men.
Okay, so now we're actually getting to something that we want.
Which is also winding down.
Yeah. Man,
and that could actually be a really cool.
That could be amazing.
Like, I've never played a video game that's anything like Mad Men.
No, so. and if anyone's gonna be able to do it, it's gonna be a company like Telltale that could it's gonna be dialogue driven, it's gonna be style driven, it's gonna be character driven, and again, like how they're handling Game of Thrones, where people like Cersei are sort of tertiary characters that you interact with every once in a while. Like if you were some up-and-coming exec at, not even necessarily at Sterling Cooper, but at a completely different office, maybe a rival office, that could be amazing, where like the events of the show are paralleling your career and being like, man, like Don just nailed that carousel pitch, what are we going to do?
There's already a precedence for getting the voice talent and likenesses of these huge actors in their games.
Absolutely. So. Also, I just want to be able to choose which drink to order at a bar and who to cheat on my significant other with.
Yeah.
Catherine already did that a couple
It's another
years ago.
smooch your own adventure.
Man.
I think Telltale's starting a new genre.
They love smooches.
Yeah.
Man, they love smooches a lot. Another big TV show. I don't know if you watch it. Nashville.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess so.
I've been wanting.
Maybe not big enough.
I've been wanting a musical game for a while, though. Like, we had Parappa. And then they the Epic Mickey 2 was like, hey, it's going to be a musical. And it just had like 3 musical cutscenes. I'm like, well,
there's those rumors that Rock Band is coming back.
Rock Band. Some rumors that Guitar
Rock
Hero.
Band, Nashville, produced by Telltale Games.
What is happening?
We would like.
Okay, I could totally handle that. Oh my god.
Don't get your hopes up for that one. But.
Well, you play the entire game with. Oh man, like you're playing with a controller, but then when you have to go on stage, you have to get your guitar out. And there's also, what else that show has? Smoochin.
Yeah,
tons of smoochin.
Yeah.
They also, Lionsgate's known for a horror series of some pretty gross things.
Saw.
We had a Saw game a little while ago.
Yeah. It was actually like kind of it was fine. It was like a guilty pleasure game.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't that. I think there were 2 Saw games.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know how that happened. Well, I guess there's like 11 Saw movies. So I could see that happening.
Sure.
People like gross things.
That could like I could see the player being posed some very difficult choices, like do you let this guy get his arm cut off, or do you save the woman from having her hair pulled? Oh, it's really hard.
That also sounds like a smooch adventure.
But if you choose the woman, she'll smooch you.
Oh man, I love that at the end of all these games you get smooched.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of other biggies. So one of the first things Lionsgate ever produced was American Psycho, the Christian Bale movie, which I was a big fan of. I'm a fan of the book, fan of the movie. I feel like that's a weird world. I kind of want that world to combine with Mad Men. And so you're playing normal Mad Men, but it turns out that someone in your office is a serial killer.
So you think, so Telltale has done so much licensed stuff. Now they're going to combine.
They're going to combine them. It's going to be like Marvel
ups.
Versus Capcom. It's going to be American Psycho versus Mad Men.
Yep.
And then the last one I wanted to pose to you, my last one, Fahrenheit 9/11, the Michael Moore documentary about what really happened that day in September. Do you think that there's any way that they could do that?
I think there is literally no way they could do that.
Okay, so Damon's putting it at 0%. I'm putting it at 5%.
5%.
I think there's a chance. It will definitely not be under the Smooch Your Own Adventure brand of Telltale games, but I think there's a chance. We want video games to mature.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
You know, I wanted to point out I was disappointed this morning when I first heard this news. In my brain, I mixed up Lionsgate with Legendary, and I thought Godzilla.
Oh my god!
Nope. That's Legendary, not Lionsgate.
Great! And also, what a power trip it would be after like 5 episodes that you get to play as Godzilla, and you just choose your own adventuring. Like, oh no, I'm gonna breathe fire on that building, and then I'm gonna tear Mothra's wings out and lay an egg on the Eiffel Tower.
But we live in a very sad world where that probably won't happen.
No, that would not be a Smooch Your Own Adventure as well. Damon, thank you very much.
Thank you, Marty.
Of course, my pleasure. We're going to be following this Telltale and Lionsgate news a ton. We're going to be covering the Game of Thrones game, the Borderlands game, and everything else from the 1999 issue of EGM. So for everything else Telltale and Lionsgate, you're already in the right place. ign.com. Whoa, you beat me to it. Smooch Your Own Adventure.